So, welcome to the Meteorology Minute.
Yay!
It's the portion of the show where we talk about weather because we have a degree in it, and I feel like we should be using it a lot more because it was expensive. I didn't pay for it. Uncle Sam paid for it, but
I feel like we get a lot of people asking us like weather questions sometimes too. And so we were like, well, we're talking about it anyways. Why don't we just turn it into a bit?
so today you're going to learn something
Yes.
about the weather. Jenny, take it away because I'm tired of talking.
Okay, so you know how you go onto your weather app, WeatherBug, whatever, and you're looking at the forecast and it says there's a 50% chance of rain at 11 a.m. And you're like, what in the heck does that mean? Does that mean that they're only 50% confident that it will rain? Is it only going to rain in 50% of my county? Is only 50% of my house going to get wet from the rain? Like, what does that mean? So it is based off of something called the probability of precipitation, the POP. And basically what is
Pop?
the POP?
I didn't know that's what that word meant. So every time somebody says pop, that's what they mean?
Yes.
Okay, got it. Continue.
And it's a lowercase p. It's a capital P, lowercase o. Capital P, lowercase o, capital P.
Oh, so people aren't spelling it right either.
Oh my God.
Because I've seen it all lowercase, just P-O-P. Usually talking about balloons.
Yes,
But I
thank
didn't
you.
know it was related to meteorology.
Oh my gosh.
What class did you learn that in? I missed that.
The POP?
Yeah.
I learned it in the class of Google. No, we learned it in... I don't
Let's
remember.
be honest, though. Google is responsible for at least half of my credit hours.
Yeah, that's very true. Okay, so where does it come from? The rain chances equal the probability of rain developing times the percent of the area affected. So in other words, 80% confidence in rain times 50% coverage would get you a 40% chance of rain. So it is based off of the confidence in the forecast of rain. So either the confidence in the computer models, the confidence in like the individual forecaster themselves.
It's that forecaster's confidence level
Right.
in the amount of rain times the amount of area they expect rain to fall.
Yep. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. So that number can be bigger, the percentage can be bigger or smaller, either based on the fact that the forecaster is confident or non-confident in the forecast, or they think it's going to cover more. So if they think it's going to rain everywhere, but the forecaster isn't super confident that it's going to rain like everywhere, you're still going to get a pretty high percentage. And if the forecaster is really confident that it's only going to rain in a very small percentage of the area, you'll also get a higher percentage. So it's like you never know which one it is. So that's where it's kind of difficult.
What I'm hearing is that we're putting numbers on something that's incredibly subjective.
Correct.
And it's impossible to track.
Yes.
And everybody's got their own 11 herbs and spices on how they like to forecast. So it's a completely pointless metric.
Yeah.
We do it to ourselves. There's so many things like that in everywhere, like the military, the government, the private sector, like meteorology. It's like we try to quantify something that's not quantifiable.
Interesting.
And it just sends us on a wild goose chase.
So there was a paragraph before this one, and it says, so it's just like this little graphic, and it says, what does a 50% chance of rain really mean? It's the likelihood of a measurable precipitation event, so 0.01 inches, at a location during a specified time period of 12 hours, typically 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. I didn't know that part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, we got an excellent question. Persnickety Craftsman wants to know, how do they come up with predicting hurricanes for the whole season? How do they know a particular hurricane season is going to be more or less active than usual? So we got to be careful here because we can't overstep our bounds, because we are, for some reason, an authority on this subject. So we got to wield that power carefully. But basically, with hurricane forecasts, it's a little different because a hurricane is a much larger event, and there are global
patterns,
global ingredients
Yeah.
on the recipe card for a hurricane. And so based on certain ocean temperature patterns, based on certain large level wind events, like globally, like literally like winds over the Sahara Desert can influence
and like where they
hurricane
think the
development.
jet stream is going to be, just like very big, like large
Right.
scale.
The ENSO cycle, ENSO,
Yeah.
like El Nino, La Nina, that's ENSO
Yeah.
cycle. So all of that plays into hurricane development. So there's some things that we can sort of see as the earth is changing throughout the year, whether or not statistically it might produce more hurricanes than usual. Like, because when we look at past years, we can look at these metrics and say, oh, well, when this happens, sometimes there's more hurricanes. So that's sort of where those predictions come from. Obviously, they're way more scientific than what I just described. I've like grossly oversimplified it.
In summary, it's just like what the big picture weather patterns are going to look like.
Right.
that year.
And to be honest, like we're limited by the amount of data that we can give and the computing power that we can use with that data to give us a better forecast. We've talked about that before, but like the more data that we can put in the computer models and the stronger the computer, the more calculations it can do to give us a more accurate result. That's basically the limitations right now of weather forecasts. I think that in our lifetime, we're definitely going to see the first like season-long, maybe year-long forecast, because I think with quantum computing and data collection, that's just going to like hockey stick in the next 20, 25 years for research and stuff, especially with drones and everything else that are coming out. Like it's just going to be incredible the amount of data that we have, and then computing technology is going to get better and better and better. And we're just going to start to see much longer forecasts. We talked about this a couple of days ago with the big tornado outbreaks. Like now we have a 7 day heads up when a tornado outbreak is going to happen. When I was a kid growing up, we maybe had like a day's notice, maybe, before a tornado.
And even then,
outbreak
you had to
happened.
wait till just a few hours before like the storm system got to you to determine whether or not it was going to like form tornadoes. It's just, I mean, it used to be just a few hours.
Absolutely fascinating stuff. I could talk about it forever, but that has been our meteorology 10 minutes.
Yes.
Thank you for the freedom to
Meteorology Minute-ish.
meteorology minutes.
Yes. We should call it that.
Well, I wanted to call it meteorology moment.
But that would be even more inaccurate.
You're not wrong. Oh my gosh.
Meteorology moment would be like meteorology. And we're done. Moving on. Business.
Yeah. Cool. So now it's time to read our book. Would you like to?
Do you want to listen to Davis's?
Oh,
voice?
hang on. I got a rant real quick. Josh just brought up a pet peeve of mine. All right. So some of these forecasters that put out forecasts of like 30-day and 60-day, absolute total freaking garbage.
Yeah.
I'm calling all of you out. There is no way to make a 30 or a 60-day. The models don't even run that long.
Yeah.
You're just totally guessing at that point. You're looking at climatology. You're looking at the Farmer's Almanac, things that are just not scientific at all. And you're getting people's hopes up for no reason.
Well, it's like it might be scientific. Like climatology in itself is like
Climatology is scientific, but
it
it's
just can't get that detailed or that accurate. Climatology on its own is
Right.
just a very big picture.
they're depending on Google this, Josh. Google confirmation bias. If you don't know what that is, they're leveraging confirmation bias to get more loyal followers and viewers. So anyway, oh hey, I just got a subscription. Thanks,
Jason.
Did he gifted one to somebody else before he
did.
did his own? That's
What
just
a
the kind of guy he is.
What a guy.
Thanks, Jason. Welcome to the show. But yeah, anyway, 30-day to 60-day.
Dave just took a shot at my very scientific Farmer's Almanac.
Yeah. I'll meet you in the parking lot later. We'll figure this out. But it might rain. I don't know. Check your almanac.
Or, look at your window, or the cow's laying down or standing up or standing on one foot. Is the fishing good or bad?
Anyway, if anybody tries to give you a specific forecast of a particular day with temperatures and or rain events, that's more than just, oh yeah, it might rain sometime around that season, throw it out. Don't listen to them.
Yeah.
They are playing you. Just like you get played with prices. So look at that segue. Just like you get played with prices. So we've been reading this book on stream.